Welcome to the Serendipitous Rebel podcast. I'm Wendy.
And I'm Krystal. This podcast is for the adventure-loving, purpose-driven, action-minded, authentic, and rebellious entrepreneurs.
Just like us. And just like you, we are trying to figure shit out. So join us as we talk about business and life and everything in between.
Hey everyone, Krystal Eicher here, and I am joined by the fabulous Wendy. And today we are kicking off our interview series for our Purposeful Pivoting podcast. And we are starting by interviewing each other. So without further ado, we're just going to dive right on in and welcome Wendy.
Hello.
To get started, Wendy, tell us a little bit about your backstory. How did you get started? What is your origin story?
Oh gosh. Okay, we don't have that much time, but I will start with my entrepreneurial journey. And that really started, I worked as a meeting planner for a lot of years and had some side hustle things going on, but really it was 2016. I lost my job. I was really floundering. What am I doing? Where am I going? I felt I know that there was a door that slammed as soon as this happened, but immediately a door swung open. My personal life went off in a different direction, and I really embraced the whole online entrepreneurial thing. Had an opportunity to move overseas, and my initial focus was actually on as a travel advisor. I wanted to be in the travel industry, trying to figure out what was my niche, where was my place. That is really where I got started, and actually that's where inevitably we met. Really, and this is all right before, it's like we talk about things now like pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. Mm-hmm. So there was about 4 years before, just about 4 years before the pandemic hit.
So were you an instant success?
Oh, good gosh, no. And I'm not sure how well. So here's the interesting question. And I think it comes down to, how do we define success? Mm-hmm. And on one hand, I felt very successful because I was no longer chained to a desk. Mm-hmm. I was my schedule was not tied to someone else. I wasn't commuting what roughly amounted to 2 to 3 hours of sitting in a car a day to go into an office. So I would think from that point, I felt very successful. But did I have the other layers, the monetary success, the other? No. There was no instant snapping your fingers. Woohoo! I'm a 7-figure a month person, like we hear a lot about online, in the online.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you started as a travel advisor in the travel industry, and somewhere along the line, you decided to pivot. What was the impetus to make a change? And what did you pivot to?
Well, okay. Yeah. So I think it really, for me, it was I probably, had the pandemic not hit, I probably would have continued along the road I was on, at least probably for a while. So with the pandemic, I really believe that my travel business died in March of 2020 when mm-hmm. just everything was canceled, and it sent me into a funk. And as I was doing this, I started really spending time, time inward because I couldn't go anywhere, living in my own head kind of thing. And I did spend a lot of time and I realized, and this had actually come up back in 2016, that one of the things it's all about transformation. And yes, there's transformational travel, but there's also transformation that comes as a certified coach. And I decided that was, something that has interested me, and that I wanted to pursue. I really, I thoroughly enjoyed, and in a lot of ways, travel, there's coaching that's done when you're helping people discover destinations and discover activities and what is it they want. I think that there's, or at least a good travel advisor incorporates coaching into that. But I wanted, by necessity, I stepped out of that and realized that the coaching can come in different ways. And I became a certified business coach. So that's a fairly long-winded answer to the impetus for change.
But it's a good answer. When you decided to make the change, were you scared?
Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's such a really good question. Was I scared? Yes and no. I was more scared because it was a pandemic and there was so much uncertainty, and uncertainty is ultimately what can drive you crazy, anyone crazy, not you specifically,
but me specifically.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, I think I was scared. I was, fortunately, one of the other parts of this as well is that our partnership. So I will say there is less fear when you're sharing experiences with others. And you have, I've always had coaches, and I've found that to be super helpful in helping to overcome fear. But I was scared, the what ifs. What if this doesn't work? What if, what if people laugh at me? What if, there's always these what ifs, but ultimately the fear goes away. The fear goes away and the creative juices start flowing. Yeah.
So how did you decide what to pivot to, from travel advisor to certified business coach? How did you make that decision?
At this time, again, it was very much, there was a lot of, I guess this is twofold, this answer. One is I was doing a lot of inward work. And I was really, as I was doing, certifications and diving into positive psychology and coaching, I was doing the work on myself as well. And so I was realizing that, gosh, for me, it sounds like this is all I ever talk about, but I swear it's not. But in this case, it's relevant, which is I was really focusing on my values, my strengths, mm-hmm. my why, what the heck gets me out of bed in the morning. And at the same time, we were starting to work together and realizing that these values and these strengths and these purpose and all this stuff was gelling. And I have to say there's, we had a few, I call them, they were like, they were masterminds, for lack of a better way to refer to it. And we had a couple of them that were just kind of mind-boggling about what opportunities are available, what we could do. And it was a tremendous amount of brainstorming. And it's just a matter of what fell into place. How does it feel? And it just felt right. So not sure if I answered that question correctly, but I don't know that there's a wrong answer. Is there a wrong answer?
I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think you did answer it because you drilled into what were your values, what were your strengths.
Yeah.
And then you let it come naturally to you. You didn't try to force something. And I think that you saw an opportunity and you took it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's fabulous.
Well, and I think that a lot of times things are forced. Very forced. it's, somebody's plan or somebody's this or somebody's that. I have found that I've been very fortunate, especially the last couple of years, in terms of my coaches who I believe I try to emulate, who don't say you have to do something this way or else. I'm not, I like to say I'm a rebel on the go.
Yeah. All of the pivots and all of the changes from losing your job in 2016 to falling into entrepreneurship, to starting this business online as a travel agent, to pivoting to a coaching business. Was it worth it?
Oh, okay. No cursing. Yes.
When we have the explicit rating, you could curse.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it was definitely very much worth it. And, it's interesting because I look back and I see the things that popped up in 2016 that piqued my interest. And all of a sudden I'm going full circle. It's been so worth it. It totally is worth it. And I think, it's like overcoming the hesitations, overcoming whatever fears there are, and just embracing the fact that we can be successful in whatever it is that we want to do. Yeah, this is where we should all be heading towards, being happy, having all the joy, all that good stuff. Life is never perfect, but, I think professionally, I am so excited and happy where I am.
I love all that. I'm happy where you are too, because we get to be together.
Well, and the funny thing is, if you don't, you can edit it all out.
That's true. That's true.
You have the magic button that could say, "Oh, she's talking too much."
I hold all the power.
Exactly, you do. Oh my God, you really do.
That's true. All right. Well, we have a couple rapid fire questions that we're going to wrap up with.
Ooh, fun.
Question number 1, what is one system you can't live without?
Oh, just one? Okay. I will say it's my Google Calendar. I know that's doesn't sound like a system, but my Google Calendar is what makes sure that I show up where I need to show up. It beeps into my face. It now beeps on my watch, my Apple Watch. I can't live without my Google Calendar.
Love that. What gets you out of bed in the morning?
Okay. My need to be there for my loved ones.
Love that. What do you love about being an entrepreneur?
Creativity, freedom, and the ability to create connections that I don't think I had in the other world.
In the other world. And then the last one, define purpose.
Oh, that's your purpose. Define purpose. Purpose is the amalgamation of your values, your strengths, your why. That is your purpose, and it is purpose is what gets you out of bed in the morning.
I love that, and I love that answer. All right, thanks, Wendy. And thank you for kicking off our Purposeful Pivoting podcast interview series. I'm super excited to keep digging into this with people. And I think up next, we're turning the tables.
Yes. Yippee, yippee.
And I have to sit on the other side of this. So thanks for listening, guys. And until next week, we will catch you later.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a rating.
But only if you liked it. Otherwise, just keep it to yourself.
You can learn more about our upcoming masterminding opportunities on our website at serendipitousrebel.com.
And if you have topics you'd like to hear about, be sure to submit them on our website or DM us on social media.
Hey, see you next week. Bye.